What's happening, people? KG is back with a match preview. International football is done, finished, finito. It is all systems going on club football, and it's time for Leeds United to get these games ticked off one by one as we try and lead our promotion charge once again. But before I get into that, please hit a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and of course, drop your comments below and your score predictions. Thank you for the support on the Everton video. I should say the FFP video. Quite clear that some Evertonian fans that got a hold of it only read the headline and didn't listen to the content, which is their right. I will only say this: for the comments that got through, I can only imagine what got through to the YouTube filter system. Let's put it that way. But listen, shout out for the support anyway. Look, we've got a big game on Friday. First game after the international break, Rotherham away. They've got no manager. We've got a couple of injury doubts. Sky Sports Live. Sounds like a banana skin, doesn't it? Or does it? Or does it? Is this new Leeds United going to prove us wrong, prove us differently, and say, doesn't matter the circumstances of players coming back late, doesn't matter about players that may not be available. This quality in this team should be enough to see us through. Will that be the case? We'll find out. Listen, let's go through a couple of Daniel Farke's comments. He was talking about players returning from international duty. He's talking about Willie Nonto and, of course, the Welsh guys, which would be Dan James, Dan James, Joe Rodon, and Ethan Ampadu. So it's going to be one of those cases where they won't be able to fully train. Otherwise, they won't be able to play Friday. And he was talking a lot today about players' loads. I will say that. Now, I've heard players' loads and load management being spoke about in NBA a lot. It sounds different coming from Daniel Farke. I don't know what it is. It just sounds different. But he was talking today a lot about player management and just making sure that they're all healthy and things like that. And as he said there, the first game after the international games are always tricky. You have to dig in. They have to be really smart in what they're doing. And he was making sure that he didn't reveal any team information. He's fully aware that Rotherham now starting from a base of he doesn't know who's coming in, because the players that played for Rotherham before under the old manager, there might be some new players in that 20-man team that will come in. And he wants to, keep his team as much of a mystery as possible. One of the things that he did say, though, which is great news, is that Jed Spence has been back in training since last Saturday, which is brilliant news. Absolutely brilliant. Now, I don't think Jed Spence will start. I think maybe he'll come from the bench just due to what Danny Farke said in terms of his preseason being interrupted and, his lack of game time recently. But this is excellent news that Jed Spence is back fully in the mix. It's just about getting up to match fitness and match speed. And listen, more games he plays, more reps he gets, the better we'll see our team being as well as Jed Spence. Gelhardt is also back for whatever that's worth. Shackleton is also back in there to give us another option from the bench. And more importantly, Sam Byram has recovered quicker than we thought as well. We've probably thought that he's going to be out for a couple of weeks after the international break, but he's recovered very well. And that's a credit to Sam and his rehab and just his desire to want to play. You've got to say he's obviously really wants it, in terms of getting games at Leeds again and starting in a successful team. And man, he's working hard to make it happen. So shout out to Sam Byram. I would love to see him start. So hopefully he's healthy enough to start. But if not, probably expect to see Junior Firpo play there. Pascal Struijk as well. He's back. He's not back, but he's recovered quicker as well from his hernia operation. So good news on that front. Absolutely good news on those kind of fronts. The only front that we did get a little bit of bad news is GEORGINIO Rutter, who is a major doubt with an abdominal strain. And Daniel Farke he did make it clear that he has faith in Bamford and all that stuff, but he really didn't rule out GEORGINIO making this game. He was making it very clear that it's going to be on the day decision kind of thing as to how GEORGINIO is feeling. But yeah, obviously, if you're missing GEORGINIO Rutter from your team, one of the best players in the league next to Somerville and all the others in Leicester's team and everything else like that, you're going to miss out on a big bit. Whoever you bring in, it's not going to be as good. But, like I said, he did back Patrick Bamford. Farke reiterating his confidence in Bamford. He said, you have no concern if Bamford starts in place of Rutter. Okay, speak for yourself. But yes, that's the only thing for me. When you're talking about Pascal being out, and we know how good his partnership is with Rodon, when you're talking about, Archie Gray being managed better as well, you're talking about a few of our better players going out and some of the lesser players coming in. And no matter what, I know I always go on that basis of what of what Sir Alex Ferguson used to say about you can have like 3 bad players in your team and the rest can carry them. I do get that, but yeah, I don't know if we're quite there yet where we can suffer such heavy losses to the squad. So it will be interesting to see who starts this game. It really will, and it will be a chance for people that are out the team to stake a claim to try and say, "Look, I'm still around." But I've seen Mateo Joseph. You know, he's done well again on international duty. I'd love to see him get these kind of reps that Bamford get, and then maybe you play someone else behind if Rutter is unavailable. Maybe move Perot up front. I just feel like there's better things that we could do rather than go back to this formula game. But look, we will have to see what team comes out on Friday. But you know, Jorginho being a doubt, that is a major blow. Something else as well. Daniel Farker says he doesn't think that this game on Friday being before Leicester and Ipswich, he says it doesn't think it's that significant in terms of putting the mental pressure on them. I do get it because it is still quite early on in the season. You know, we're not talking like we're in game 41 or, you know, even 38 or something like that. But when you look at the table and if you get 3 points on the board, you know, you're looking even closer. Your form is looking better. Ipswich and Leicester already know that we're on their heels. I think it sets a good tone. And I do think it makes them double think, oh, we have to get results in our next games, especially Ipswich, who have had a bit of a dip lately. So I think that it would be good to get the 3 points on many fronts, but I do think it can put the pressure on them at this stage already, especially Ipswich Town. And with that as well, Rotherham Town, that's disrespectful. Rotherham United, that was a slip. This is their team, people. You know, we're not going to go through it all. Daniel Ayala, I mean, we were linked with him about 3 years ago for about $1.5 million, wasn't we? Tyler Blackett, Sam Clucas. There's a familiar face. I mean, Jordan Hugel's done the rounds. Shane Ferguson, Lord have mercy. Lee Peltier, he's still back and banding around. Remember the Peltier days, people. So that's what I'm saying. Look, Rotherham, they're obviously not one of the best teams. And I'm not even going to say that this is their biggest game because, you know, just from Rotherham fans that I know, I think Sheffield Wednesday is probably their biggest game. That's probably their biggest game of their calendar season. So, but obviously taking on Leeds United, it's a sold out crowd. This is going to be a huge game for them. They're going to want to change their fortunes. You know, we're looking at ours here in third place. We have to go down a bit for theirs. They're third from bottom, you know, so we're at the complete, you know, different kind of spectrums of the table. 2 wins out of 16. Listen, I know that we're, you know, and Danny Farker was talking a lot today, and it almost sounded excuse-like ready-made excuse in terms of players not being able to train and, you know, it being a first game back after international break, players being away, you know, possible absentees. But I want this team, I want this manager, and I want this to be a new page in Leeds United because we know previous years this would be a banana skin for us and we'd probably lose the game. I want them to prove this all wrong and get that theory out of here and say this is a new Leeds United. The quality that we have will see us through. And whether it's Rotherham or away with no manager, new manager bounce, what have you, we're going to quell that and we're going to get the 3 points. We're going to get in, get out, and move on to the next game. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see it where we're having to play some players that aren't up to the quality and they take us down. I want the better players in our team. I want the Kamaras. I want the Perot, who said that he's got more to offer, which is brilliant to hear. I want to see if Nanto's available, Somerville. I want to see our key players, Archie Gray, Amper. I want to see all these key players rise up and pull this team up because that's what they've done so far. So let's see that trend continue in this game. It's going to be a tough game. I'm not going to give an outrageous score prediction. I do think we're going to hammer somebody soon. I just don't think it's going to be this game. I think it's probably the timing of the game is probably wrong. And I think that we just got to be, you know, have a good, efficient performance away, get the 3 points, move on to the next one. So my score prediction for this one, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Leeds win. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Leeds win, solid across the board. Give me your score predictions below. Let me know what you think. And just finally to finish on this video, just for transfers, because I mean we're coming up to that season very soon, people. So almost that January transfer window, we're going to be talking that soon. But Nick Hammond, who has been our transfer consultant since the 49er Enterprises fully took over, is going to be here until the end of the summer. which is brilliant news because let's face it, he hasn't missed, has he? He hasn't missed one time. I mean, there's some players that aren't playing regularly, of course, but overall, there's no transfers that he's bought and you think, oh, I'd like to take that one back. No, he's done really well. So efficient recruitment. We've needed that for some time, and I'm delighted that Nick Hammond is staying on until the end of the season. Well, until at least the end of the season. That's the deal so far. So listen, people, you've heard my thoughts. Give me your thoughts in the comments below. I will see you live Friday night, and we'll talk about this game in full. And yeah, let's get the wins back on the road, man. Let's get the wins back on the ball. Keep the good momentum rolling. Keep the good form going. And I think we can do this, people. Till the next video. Peace out.